do the tech. Let's just jump in and freaking do it. How about that? By the way, do you guys want some of this stuff? Want to try it out? The consensus is that it tastes better than Red Bull. From every single person that's tried it, it's kind of a more berry tasting energy drink without the nasty aftertaste. I think it tastes pretty good. Anyway, let me know if you guys want to try them, and maybe we'll throw the rest of them up on the store at cost, just so you can try them, you know. But let me know if you want them or not. First off, let's go over to Europe. So, you know, last October, the European Union, they really made some despicable net neutrality rules that were like, hey, guys, you want fast lanes and prioritization and all this stuff and just taking care of all the big businesses and that sort of thing. And, I mean, it was like really, really, really rough. And I know in Germany, Angela Merkel has been like, you know, internet fast lanes are cool, and she likes them. Internet fast lane, if you're someone who does not know what I'm talking about right now, it's like all the traffic goes here, but, you know, if you're providing a service like you got video streaming or something, you pay a little extra money, well, you get a fast lane, so your data is prioritized over the ones who are not paying, and that makes it difficult for some of the smaller companies out there. If you're trying to do a startup that's doing, you know, web streaming, well, you can't compete with the incumbents who have a lot of money who are paying for the fast lane. So your connection will be slower. The end user is going to be like, well, this video always, you know, it's always stuttering, and where am I from? I'm from wherever the hell Muppets are from, because it's the voice they use sometimes. Yeah, I have no idea. Anyway, they recently, over in the European Union's, the body of European Regulators of Electronic Communications, otherwise known as BEREC. What the body of European Regulators of Electronic Communications. That's okay. That's a nice big term. Anyway, so BEREC. They looked at this and they made some new guidelines, and they seem to be a little bit more on the side of the people, but I'm still slightly worried. But let me go down here and read this. The zero price applied to the data traffic of the zero-rated music application creates an economic incentive to use that music application instead of competing ones. So here it says that it undermines the essence of the end user's rights. And that's cool that they look at this and recognize that, because a lot of the powers that be and a lot of the different bodies that are organized by governmental officials or by the European Union to look at the rights of the consumers in regard to technology and internet and infrastructure and all this sort of thing, bandwidth, a lot of them just don't get it. They look at it and they're like, well, the guys at Comcast said that if we do internet fast lanes, that Netflix will finally pay their fair share for all that damn bandwidth that they use. And when in actuality, it's the person at home who's paying Comcast for access to the internet, and they've chosen to use their bandwidth to watch Netflix. Netflix should never even come into the picture, but they do. And that's sort of created a little, you know, behind-the-scenes extra money grab for Comcast. But in the EU here, they realize that is undermining, you know, the rights of the end users when something has a zero rating. And the reason that zero ratings are bad is because, you know, different companies, they can go out there and let's say T-Mobile has their own streaming service, and they say like, hey, this streaming service is not going to count against your bandwidth, and it's also going to be nice and fast, and you're going to be incentivized to use that over all the different competitors out there. So they realize that undermines the essence of the end user's rights, and that's cool. I still don't think the language is going to be strong enough. You know, if you look through this, the language is still not quite strong enough. There's still going to be some bad behaviors. Because they'll come in and the ISPs are always going to try to abuse as much as they can. The ISPs like to abuse the system more than they like to innovate, it seems, in my opinion. So you've got to keep a freaking eye on them. But, you know, good job, BEREC. Anyway, let's move on here. Samsung Galaxy Note 7, you know, it just came out recently, and they're blowing up. And what do I mean blowing up? They're like blowing up, physically blowing up. Yeah, that gives you new meaning to the term. You guys are blowing up my phone. So anyway, it's only like 0.1%. They said less than 0.1% of the phones are going to be affected by this battery, but Samsung has decided to recall all of them. I mean, that's huge. I don't even know what the bottom line on that's going to be. That's a big freaking recall, but they want to make sure that their customers are safe. And the thing for me is that one of these things catches on fire. Just one of them, 2 of them. It's not like 20 years ago when you just had to tell your friends, my phone caught on fire. I was on the phone, boom, it caught on fire. And then you're like, wow, did you hear that Jim's phone down at the hardware store just caught on fire? Don't buy, Southern Bell phones that are this model number. They will catch on fire. It's not like that anymore. Now that we have the internet, someone puts a little video online being like, I was on the phone and it caught on fire. My hair caught on fire. My dog caught on fire. House caught on fire. The helicopter flying overhead came too close because it was distracted by the smoke coming off the house. Slammed directly into a mountain. The mountain caught on fire. The fire spread to the village, and no one survived except Randy. That's what's going to happen, and they know that the press generated from something like that can do severe damage. And I guess they looked at the situation. They said, the press from a few phones, 0.1%, which is still going to be a lot of phones when you think these guys are going to sell gazillions of phones. The press from those catching on fire, and if someone was to get hurt, the bad press from that would do severe damage to the company. So I guess they waited out and they were like, recall the phones. Just bring them back in. Recall them. We'll fix the ones that don't have a battery. It can be solved by swapping out the battery. But they don't even want to send a replacement battery to the people. They just want to fix it, send it back. That's pretty interesting. That's the decision they came to. All right, you guys ready to talk about self-driving cars? We've got some interesting articles here. First off, NVIDIA. Video games and all that kind of stuff. No, they've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. They've been using their powerful technology. I mean, their GPUs are really good for crunching numbers and that sort of thing, but they've been using it to try to power some AI, and they've been working on self-driving cars. If you guys been to some of those or seen some of their stuff at some of the different trade shows around, you'll notice that NVIDIA, they're over in the gaming section. They've got their graphics cards and stuff like that, but now they also have a presence over with the auto show stuff. And like, what are you doing over there? Well, they're working on some algorithms that can navigate, mostly using maps, but it's artificial intelligence using the maps. They can't navigate through all conditions. They call it like level 3 or something like that. As far as having an autonomous vehicle, it's level 3. You still can be pretty autonomous, but you'll need a human in the car for some certain things. Anyway, they're partnering up with Baidu, and Baidu is the Google of China. They're huge, and their artificial intelligence algorithms, depending on who you ask, a lot of people say that they are right up there with Google, if not slightly better than Google, again, depending on who you ask. I'm not an expert on their artificial intelligence, nor am I an expert on Google's artificial intelligence. So if someone out there in the audience is, and they actually know which one is more interesting, I'd like to know. But they're partnering up with Baidu to bring together these self-driving cars. So that's the first step there. And, Baidu got huge. Google's just not allowed in China. And that's one of the things about the Great Firewall is a lot of the Great Firewall, limitations are major companies from, Europe and America and stuff like that could impact the market and also compete with Baidu. So China's Great Firewall, it's up there for many reasons, but a lot of times they use it to shield their companies from major outside companies who could provide tons of competition like Google. So Baidu really doesn't have any competition in China. That's it. It could be interesting to take a look at this and see what comes of it. I got some more self-driving news from Helsinki, Finland. They are testing out 12 of these goofy little, about 12 of these goofy little vehicles. Or no, it's 10 vehicles, I'm sorry. It's the Easy Smile Easy vehicles, yes. Now, these vehicles, they're being tested. So these vehicles are being tested as part of a test project that's coordinated by Helsinki's Metropolia University of Applied Sciences. All these long names today. So anyway, they're testing this out, and the thing that's interesting about this is they looked at the regulations, and a lot of times the regulations prohibit this kind of stuff, and the regulations say that someone has to be in control of these vehicles, but these regulations are like from the 70s, but they don't say that the person who's in control of those vehicles has to be physically present. So they talked to everybody involved, and the Minister of Transportation, all that stuff, and they said, these things are pretty good. I guess you can have one person supervise a whole bunch of these things, like all 10 of them, from a remote location. So you got a guy sitting in a command room right now, just chilling, and he's got these buses driving around the city, and he's like, okay, this one's getting a little close to that curb over there, and there's a child there, so we're going to slow that one down or stop it. And this one's doing this, and so you've got one person, basically driving or monitoring these things from a remote location, and they are also limiting the speed to about 6 miles or 10 kilometers per hour while they're in these first testing phases. But these are the first testing phases. Can you imagine like fleets of buses, and now you've got one driver controlling 10 in a remote location, just kind of like chilling back, and he's sitting there with like 10 monitors up watching these buses and seeing if any of them do anything. At what point does the human element become dangerous when it comes to that? I mean, these things are, once they get the technology worked out, the software is going to do most of the work. And so would it be safer to have one guy just hanging out driving 10 buses from an office somewhere drinking coffee? Possibly, especially since the software is going to be getting so advanced. So anybody in Helsinki jumped on these things? It seems like most of the population over there is pretty in the know about them, but they said it was on the street, like every now and then someone would look at this thing and be like, there's no one driving it? Are you sure we can get in this thing? Is it okay? And they're like, yeah, go around in. It's fine, just hop in, try it out. Oh, well, this is like a spaceship or something. I'm sure there's some people like that who are just like out of the know who jump on these things and are like, wow, it's interesting. I don't even know. All right, last up on the self-driving the self-driving news section. We got flying robot taxis that will be starting soon in Las Vegas, and we mentioned this before, but they are set to be starting soon. They're taking the idea of a drone and adding a person plus 100 kilograms, which if you're American, that's 700,000 pounds. I don't know, that's what is about a couple hundred pounds or something like that. So anyway, they're able to carry that around, or maybe it's 100 pounds. Let me see. No, it's 100 kilograms. So they're able to carry that around town for a matter of minutes. It's not that much. 23 minutes with the passenger and one piece of luggage, and then about 10 minutes if they're going 63 miles an hour. So it's kind of interesting, but these things are going to go from landing point to landing point, but it's just a step in a direction. The thing will fold down so it'll be the size of a parking spot. Just a step in that direction. We've got to get the battery technology. Like, somebody out there has to get the battery technology. We need batteries that'll last forever and won't catch on fire. Can someone make that? Anybody? I don't know. All right, so now we got a couple articles to chew on, and got a special guest. He's not someone that anyone has seen before. This is a new person, right? No one knows you, right? Your secret identity. Who? I don't know what I'm talking about.
You mean that guy? I'm not worried about that guy.
Yeah.
Not worried about that guy.
Right now, when you look up the word unlimited in the dictionary, you see a little star, and it says, see the fine print. So,
you're talking about T-Mobile and Sprint, aren't you?
Yes, I sure am. They've got their new unlimited plans, but they already had unlimited plans, but now there's new unlimited plans that supersede those unlimited plans for people who actually want unlimited data. But it's still not unlimited! Why can't we have unlimited? Sorry, I got a little excited right there. So anyway, do you have Sprint or T-Mobile by chance?
I have my carrier big piggybacks on Sprint. So basically Sprint, it's one of those, prepaid things because I just don't care. I don't really use the phone much. But nonetheless, unlimited comes with strings attached. And it doesn't matter that you already pay up the wazoo for your unlimited plan. You can pay an extra $20 to $25 a month, according to this article on WSJ.com. But not only are they calling it unlimited everything, but you read that fine print, it's unlimited everything, but we're still going to suck you dry.
Well, and there's also lots and lots and lots of caveats. So, like, for instance, T-Mobile's going to give you guys an unlimited everything plan, and then they've got, they're using all these weird numbers, like unlimited premium, unlimited everything, unlimited for real. It's just like...
marketing.
Yeah. And, I recently went into, an AT&T store and asked them about their unlimited plans, and they said, well, unlimited is a misnomer. And I said, let me get my damn dictionary and we'll see if unlimited means unlimited or not. Because, no, it's not a misnomer. It's only a misnomer when you walk into an AT&T store because they still don't offer true unlimited unless you subscribe to one of their services like Uverse or some of their television and you pay a lot of money. They want to make sure that they're getting a lot of money for you before they give you unlimited, and even that has, bandwidth caps of 22, 26 gigabytes and that sort of thing. But what T-Mobile's doing, it's a little different, is they're saying, okay, yeah, maybe you can have unlimited, but, if you use too much, we're going to slow you down a little bit. And also, the video that you're going to be getting, we're going to make sure that is going to be lower quality because, it's on a smaller device. 450 words of fine print is what they have on when you sign up for this stuff. So that's how many words it takes to describe what unlimited means with T-Mobile.
Apparently so, but even with that, there have been so many cases where customers have sued. Granted, not all have won, but some have, where you have your unlimited plan, but then by a certain amount of data usage, you get throttled. This is no different than what they already do with certain net neutrality regulation that they find loopholes in to still throttle you. But they say, oh, no, this falls well within net neutrality. So data, like it's becoming for internet now, is just another cell phone plan for you, where unlimited is really just something with a very high cap that they hope you don't reach. But when you do, you get throttled down to what, 3G, 2G speeds? Well, so you're still paying the same price?
Here's the interesting thing. That's the way it works on most carriers. T-Mobile does something a little bit different than that. It's based upon sort of how saturated is the bandwidth. And it's a prioritization service. Right now, you and I are talking through this because we don't get internet signed up here until tomorrow. There's a lot of reasons why we're not getting internet signed up until tomorrow. It just took forever. They're actually installing a giant thing on the roof, and the building had to approve it, and someone had to sign. The owner of the building got involved. So in order for us to get gigabit here, we've had to pull some strings, but it's being installed tomorrow. Until then, I'm using T-Mobile, and I've used probably 100 gigabytes of T-Mobile, and it's still working at decent speeds because I guess they've got a lot of infrastructure around here. If I was in the middle of nowhere, or if I was somewhere where there was a lot of people in line for that bandwidth, I'd be in trouble. If it's late at night, it's better. But essentially, once I go over my limit, they move me to the back of the line, and I am no longer prioritized. It's like, you've had enough, dude. You've been like, this is the soup line, and it's like you're like up in front with like you've got like a giant mixing bowl, and you're just like, thank you very much for this unlimited data. Because normally when you think of like data as being ports in a hub somewhere, like that's all it is just you need to add more ports. You need to add more ports for like, a wired service. But when it comes to wireless infrastructure, you can only have so many people on each tower. And then it's just, you can't do it anymore. And you have to build more towers or upgrade those existing towers. So the infrastructure becomes the problem when we're talking about this sort of stuff. So I can kind of understand what they're doing, but they just need to freaking upgrade their infrastructure because they're making a lot of money. And they usually end up hoarding that money and then using it to try to buy each other. T-Mobile's going to buy this company, or this company wants to buy T-Mobile, or AT&T's trying to buy, Sprint. It's just like that's all they do is they think, ooh, if we don't upgrade our infrastructure, we can hoard all this money away and then eventually buy the competitors, and we'll have their infrastructure and our infrastructure, but neither of those will be upgraded to modern standards. And it's a never-ending cycle of greed.
I'm going to go ahead and quote, though, here from the article because it makes perfect sense. It's a money grab. They just want to rake in the customers. Hey, unlimited this, unlimited that. Oh, brother, I'm not paying that much extra for unlimited. But right here, they mention about how these new plans start at seemingly fair prices for, again, unlimited, with those caveats, with those hidden caveats, because who the hell reads the TLDR? I mean, excuse me, not the TLDR.
Yeah, they should call it TLDR.
I know.
That's pretty much what they are. They are the TLDR.
This article is the TLDR. So they want to eliminate, and possibly rather eliminate, the cheaper options with the limited data because they know that people are going to go for the unlimited plans anyway. And as they limit those plans, they just up the ante every little bit. Oh, $5 more, $10 more, $20 more. Oh, we got to make one more tower by your house. $50 more. Right. They've got enough infrastructure. They just don't want to use it. They want,
You know something else that I think is kind of funny about this? Mike Sievert, or whatever his name is, he's the chief operations officer of T-Mobile. And when the FCC, was looking at them for a number of different things, mainly about, like just different throttling, or possibly they also have done some stuff where they will give 0 ratings to certain services, certain streaming services, and they've given it to things that are not owned by T-Mobile, so they want to appear cool, but they're still, that's still, prioritization, and that, that's still sort of a fast lane for certain services. Anyway, their chief operation officer came in and he was like, whoa, we support, as a company, we support an open internet, but that means different things to different people. What does that mean? That means that everything you just said means nothing because, okay, an open internet could mean like that I left the door open to the server room. Oh, the internet's open. It means different things to different people, but we support it, in sort of that's like the word edgy. Have you ever used the word edgy to describe something? Oh, that's so edgy. Well, the word edgy doesn't have a fucking meaning. It means something different depending on who you are. If you're someone who, you know, the edgiest thing you wear is a full blouse that comes up to your neck and a long pair of pants. Somebody could have on a tank top and you're like, whoa, that's edgy. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Well, edge does have meaning within the telecommunications industry because it used to be a 3G plus standard called edge.
Well, I'm over the edge right now.
So they know
this
edge.
thing, I'm far over the edge.
They know edge.
So I want to know what you guys think at home about these different things. What should they be doing? Should they be legally allowed to call these services unlimited when they're throttled, even though they allow you to keep downloading but at a slower speed, or if it's, you know, then you're prioritized to the back of the line, or deprioritized, or unprioritized? What do you even call that? I guess they're just putting you in the back of the line because you've had too much soup or whatever. What do you guys think at home? And we're talking about USA carriers right now, and there are carriers around the world that are unlimited, and they're way less expensive than what we have right now. So I want to jump over to India real quick. I'm not sure if you looked at this article or not, but India's richest man has decided.
4G, right.
He launched a 4G network with unlimited free voice calls. So the price is only $45 a month, and it's going to be available pretty much in tons of the cities in India, just nationwide. They're rolling it out, and they've got 4G. They said it's going to be unlimited. They also said unlimited calls, but the other thing that's interesting about this is they said that their towers that they have in place and all their infrastructure in place is ready for future 5G and 6G upgrades that can be easily done. So that's kind of interesting. I think this guy is a rich guy, and he was just like hanging out on his phone saying, I am sick of, you know, being throttled. I am sick of plans that are not unlimited. So you know what? I've got a bunch of money, and I'm going to be the guy to do something about it. So he said, screw it, and he went out and created his own company, and now they've got LTE. They're about to roll out all over India. And if anyone lives in India, how's it going, guys? Thanks very much for being awesome, especially when it comes to, you know, computer science and that sort of thing. You guys are top of the list as far as getting your shit learned. Anyway, let me know what's going on over there. Let me know if this is really if this article is correct. Let me know if there's any hidden caveats like we have here with our services in America. So what were you going to say about this, Rooster?
Elon Musk, you're doing the Hyperloop, and you've got Tesla going. Where's our 4G network, man?
Yeah, they're driving it through the middle of nowhere, but still.
Take after this guy, Elon. Come on, we can use that.
Yeah, so get Elon Musk to he's got a lot of stuff going on though. You know what I mean? He's got
the money.
Does he? I mean, I don't know. It always seems like he's thinking about the vision before he thinks about the money, and then he's like, oh, we'll figure that out later. Let's just freaking do it. Let's just go to Mars. Let's build the Hyperloop.
No one else is doing it, so hey.
And they're like, where are you going to get the money? He's like, I don't know. You're going to give it to me? Because it's good for humanity, so do it, or else. You know, I want to sit down with Elon Musk and just see what kind of person he is and see if there's any. I want to just like sort of sit there and see if he exudes any greed, because the things that he does do not seem greedy. You know,
that's true. I mean? You want to get a better feel for that, because it's like, why? What compels a man to do that? But then again, what's so bad about someone being compelled to do the right thing?
Right.
Granted that you want to look under the surface. I know, the curiosity. You want to find out.
Right. I don't know. I think it's really cool that they're doing this in India. And one of the things is that they're doing, I think, to try to make some money on top of this, is they're going to add to this service TV shows, cloud storage, live access to different newspaper access, live TV access. I'm sorry, and then like a news app and all that sort of thing. They're adding this as a bundle, and you can get all of that together for $225. But I'm not sure, you know, like what competing services are out there, and you know, are they going to? You know, me thinking and looking at this just like from the pattern of the way things work all over the world, you're thinking like, okay, are they going to throttle all the competing services to make their services more desirable so that people will spend money to them? Because there's other streaming services out there, right? I don't know. So I want someone in India to chime in. Please let us know in the comments, preferably be on our website, because that's where I look at the comments the most. But just really curious right now. And I think it's kind of cool that this is happening over there. Someone needs to, like Elon Musk, like you said, needs to take a page.
Yeah, I know, right? Somebody just tweet this. Everyone tweet this to Elon Musk. Thank you.
Maybe he'll hire somebody. So playing with the Vive, that's always fun, but it's hard to survive when you're on a Vive because there's cords on the ground. Well, how about someone who makes a wireless version of something for the Vive? But the only caveat on that, we got a lot of caveats in the show. I better go get my teeth cleaned before I get any more caveats. But the only caveat on that is that it's a wireless wire. You got a wireless wire? Rooster, what the hell?
What?
So in order to get the HTC Vive to work wirelessly, you have to have a wire going to a thing in your pocket. But they're like, well, you know what? Let's not get into details here. This is wireless. It's still wireless technology, but you'll need a wire.
Just don't look at it like a wire. It's an umbilical cord.
It's a wireless wire.
It's an umbilical cord. You need it. It's the umbilicus.
The umbilicus. So the company here is the Quark VR. And Quark VR is the problem they're doing with this sort of thing is you need to get like super 90 FPS, and the resolution is 2160 by I forget what it is, 1200 or something like that, and 90 FPS, and you have to be able to do that over Wi-Fi. And while you're doing that over the Wi-Fi, you also have to, down to the millisecond, be able to map where the person's head is turning. So you've got all this stuff that you have to do over Wi-Fi, and overcoming latency on a variety of different networks is going to be really, really difficult. But they say that they're going to be ready to demo this sometime this year, probably in the next several months.
Yeah, there's still a wire in the article here at Ars Technica. There's still one wire coming out, but
yeah.
What I hear the most about the Vive, I haven't personally been able to test one out yet, but how luggy it can feel, how cumbersome the wires in the back. Obviously, that's the whole point of this. But I wonder. Latency-wise, I wonder if that's going to bug people more, those that are susceptible to motion sickness, maybe how smooth the FPS may be. I don't think so. I shouldn't really change that.
Yeah, they're going to have to really, really take care of the latency issues and make sure that it works. That's going to be the big deal.
Yeah, it literally mentions it here. To avoid nauseating VR latency, your networking hardware would have to wirelessly stream up 2160 by 1200 image at 90 FPS.
So
we're talking... AC wireless easy. No one's going to be doing this over N.
Yeah, no. That's no way is what's going to happen over N. And how many people have sufficient network infrastructure or wireless infrastructure for this? Maybe a lot of people these days have decent wireless AC routers, but the position of the router is going to matter, and just everything else that's going on in your home. If everyone else is like messing around on the Wi-Fi, is that going to slow it down? And this is really cool. And so that's for sure. This is the only way that I would want to play this stuff, because running around a room with that umbilical cord dangling off and tripping over it and all that stuff is not cool. And I was even thinking at one point it would be cool to build like a room in your house and put the PC that's controlling everything, like put it like just strap it to the ceiling, like literally strap the PC to the ceiling and run like your DVI or not your DVI, your HDMI or your DisplayPort cable across the room to your television, over the ceiling and then down, and then just have all the cords going up into the ceiling so you can walk around, and then maybe even have like sort of an upside down arm that kind of moves around with you. But that's just ridiculous and expensive. And then these guys were like, oh, we'll do it wirelessly. And I was like, oh, that'd be a lot easier than that nonsense that I was thinking up. So that's kind of cool.
Well, no, you were mentioning about networking, people not having fast enough wireless. But hey, we have a PF Sense video, guys. So if you want to look about taking an older PC that is 100 times faster than your crappy little 10100 router, which I'm sure plenty of people still have, a really outdated router, outdated firmware, you guys need to keep in check of that. And those of you that watch our channel, more than likely you do keep that in check. But for those that need an upgrade, check out our PF Sense video.
So yeah,
just make it from so cost effective, and it works.
Yeah, now PF Sense works with some AC cards out there. Like you can build a little machine and it becomes your router essentially, and you can even build some smaller machines. I've put together a tiny little Alix box. It actually looks like a little router, and you can get those with Wi-Fi antennas. But the real solution, if you have a couple $100 to spend, is you can build your PF Sense router, or you just use whatever router you have lying around. And then if you really want fast wireless, what you do is you get Ubiquity. You just grab a Ubiquity access point. They look like they look like overgrown smoke detectors, and you put them on the ceiling or put them on the wall, and they are super fast. And the nice thing about these things is you can daisy chain them together. So you can put one in this room and one in the next room or wherever. And as you're walking through the house, they do just a completely seamless handoff from one to the other. And so you never actually know that you're on the other radio or the other antenna, but you just transfer over. We're going to be playing with some of those in the office, so let me know if you guys want a little buyer's guide on some of the Ubiquity products out there. You can just grab them and add them to your current stuff, and it's pretty freaking cool. And that would be the best situation for playing with one of these wirelessly.
The only problem I see with that is if one of you out there is a goth and your room is all black, it's going to mess with your head. It's just white, white, white.
I don't. You get it, and you're like, I don't know, man. The ubiquity, it's so fast, but like, it's ruining my vibe. Yeah, that'll probably happen. So, not is there a black one out there? Someone's gonna, someone in the comments is gonna be like, idiots. There's a black one.
Well, no, there isn't. There isn't, but that would be a fun video. If like someone really doesn't like it, if you guys want that enough, I'm going to probably get an AP Pro eventually myself to extend my network. Maybe I'll get 2 and paint 1.
And we'll do a black ubiquity for Goths video.
Oh my God! Wait.
Wi-Fi for Goths, anybody?
Maybe we should talk with them and get a black one done with the logo on it.
And a fog machine built in. I mean, if we're going to do it, let's go all out. And maybe a strobe light. So
okay, no, I'm out.
You're done. All right, that's killed him. He's done. That's it. All right, Rooster Man, thanks for being on the show. Everybody in the comments, let us know what you thought, and maybe we'll see you in a week or so. Who knows? Hang out. All right, let's talk about some hardware news. Acer has released, I guess, as a prototype of their Predator 21X. It's got a curved 21-inch display and 2 GeForce GTX 1080s. It's got the Intel Core i7, and they said up to 4 terabytes of SSD storage. But the big thing on this one is the ridiculous curved monitor. Like, look at that thing here. This thing is ridiculous. Now, it's an ultra-wide monitor, so it's going to be 2560 by 1080. Let me scroll down to it. And 2 1080s in this laptop. I mean, what game running at 2560 by 1080 right now needs 2 1080s? So I'm thinking in order to actually take advantage of both of those 1080s or actually push those things, you're going to have to plug this thing into an external monitor running at 4K and then game on that. But still, kind of ridiculous. I'm wondering, who's going to carry this thing around? Because it's going to be freaking heavy. Let me show you the weight right here. It's 8 kilograms. Again, that's about 700 pounds. Everything in kilograms translates directly to 700 pounds. Now, 8 kilograms is like 15, 16 pounds, somewhere in that range. That's huge. And it also closes funny because it's got this curved monitor on it. Is 21 inches even enough? Is big enough to merit a curved monitor? Kind of curious. What do you guys think about this? Do you want a curved monitor at that size? Is this too big to carry around? Would you rather have just a desktop at this point? Or is this the ultimate LAN party rig? Let me know. I think this might just be like the headline getter. Go get these freaking headlines with this ginormous Acer Swift. Acer Swift. This Acer Predator 21X. Hey, if I get one, I'll try it and play around with it, but it'll probably just sit on a desk forever because I don't feel like lugging that thing around. Maybe they'll sponsor. Where am I from? Who says sponsor? Maybe they'll sponsor Highlander Part 2, and we can lug these things up the mountain. Yeah. Linus, you want to do that? Give me a call. We'll head up the mountain with these 8-kilogram laptops. Yeah. All right. Super material t-shirts, like wearing nothing. How about some clothes made out of plastic? Do you guys like plastic clothes? Not. Jeez. We've been talking about goth stuff earlier, so these guys, let me tell you who it's. Pochun Su, is that how you say it? HSU? Somebody who knows how to say that correctly, let me know. At Stanford University, they developed this plastic fabric that lets out the infrared, and it lets out your body heat, and it keeps your it only warms your skin up by 1.4 degrees. When you compare that to like a regular t-shirt that does 6.1 degrees, that's really, really freaking cool. The problem with this, I guess the fabric, well, it looks like plastic, number one, and also it's naturally see-through. So they were like, oh, what are we going to do about this? They were able to make it opaque, but it's this, that's the color you get right now when they make it opaque. It's the color of a server forgotten in time for 15 years. And then you come back and or your Nintendo, your old Nintendo that used to be like the crappy beige color or whatever. You come back and look at it like years later and it's like that weird kind of greenish mucusy color. That's the mucus color, that's it. If I had a crayon, it would say mucus. Anyway, kind of cool. You just take your shirt off, but it's not allowed in some places in the world. The shirtlessness should be allowed everywhere, I've decided. Now, I was going to do this article on the EM drive. It's been peer-reviewed, and they said it's a possibility. and now we may be able to do space travel at ridiculous speeds. We might be able to go to that new planet we just found. And I was going to do it, but good God, these guys made me turn my ad block off to use their damn website, and then they've bombarded me with newsletters and ads. Jesus, IB Times, you know what? No. You stop that. You stop that shit right now. Like, this is why people use ad block. This is why people come to our website and have ad block. It's because sites like you that abuse ads so much that it makes people not want to use ads. You're doing it wrong. You guys call me and I'll freaking fix it. Anyway, the last thing I want to talk about here is Owl Boy. I almost said Old Boy. It's the really fucked up version of Owl Boy where, you know, the owl gets his tongue cut out at the end. If you have shit, spoiler alert. Sorry. I said it after I said it. Too late. So I just want to use this right now because I want to start a bit of a conversation. I love side scrollers, and I don't have a lot of time right now. There's so much stuff going on, and I've been wanting to play a couple different games, but every now and then I'm in the mood for a side scroller that I can just sit down with for a little bit of time and play. So this one looks pretty interesting. They've been working on this damn thing for 9 years, so that's an indie labor of love. But it does have a really nice look to it. I'll go down and hit play on the video somewhere. There we go. It's got a nice look to it, and it's kind of fun, but I wanted to know what you guys think out there is a interesting yet somehow deep side-scroller that's worth playing. Because I'd love to pick up a side-scroller right now and just have a little bit of fun with it. So let me know what your favorite PC side-scrollers are and why. I recently did love the Rayman game when I played it. Played Legends. That was a lot of fun. But this one looks pretty interesting, too. And what side-scrolling games, coming out are you looking forward to on the horizon? Anyway, that's it for the tech today. Let us know what you guys thought. And obviously, let us know what you thought of all the guests that we have on, and we will listen to you guys, and then we'll make sure we try to have people on that you guys enjoy hearing from and enjoy watching. So we'll see you in the comments. Be sure to check out everything in the store. Got a pretty cool new shirt of the month coming right up, so check it out, and we'll see you guys later.